It should be recording in a second. I'm actually doing this in a from an Airbnb in California. I'm not used to so many things here, so give me just a little extra time. It's working. I'm just going to post it on the Gita channel a little bit later, just after the class. The YouTube, I think the YouTube is working at this point, so it's recording at this point. Or else I might just hold on a second. I have sent it to the YouTube channel anyway, so let's see. Should be okay. So you can hear me all right, right? Can we go further?
Yeah.
Okay. Shvetadvipam tato gatva drishtva vishtum chate tataham anujñātāः pramodante nirdukkastu dharadishu. So in the last class, I'm just summarizing where we stopped. All muktas will go to Vishnu first and then go to their lokas. That means even in attaining moksha is not, that is not everybody will be at the same level of spiritual bliss when they go to moksha. They first go see Vishnu and then they go to their own lokas, means their own spheres. In that sense, each one has a particular sphere. Even if we all go to moksha, we will have different experiences. And that is known as Tāratamya or hierarchy in the bliss of the people who attain moksha. This is a special concept of Madhvācārya. So if one has aparoksha anubhava, aparoksha is direct realization, more than a muhurta kala, like 20 something minutes, then they stay in Shvetadvipa itself. Then they go and stay right there in Shvetadvipa, which is actually Vaikuntha. So there, will they have, like in Vaikuntha, will they have hierarchy in bliss? Even there is hierarchy in bliss. And they, in the last class, Madhvācārya argued that there is no two muktis. That is mukti, one mukti going and realizing the Saguṇa Brahman in different, in Shvetadvipa, in Vaikuntha and all, which is same as Vaikuntha. Or a Nirguna Mukti, which is reaching the attributeless Brahman. Are there two muktis? Madhvācārya says there is absolutely no question of two muktis. There is no two muktis. There is only one mukti, which is realization of Saguṇa Brahman only. And once seen by Narada in one of the Puranas, they explain, is actually the highest mukti. So the highest mukti is Saguṇa Mukti and reaching Shvetadvipa. That's what we talked about in the last class. Ato anishtasyeva mokshaha, so astyeva sarvatmana adhukkam sarvadukka vivarjitaham ashoka mahimam yatra gatva na shochati ityadibhyaha. In moksha, all papas are destroyed. All the sins are destroyed. Sin is not an exact equivalent to papa, but I'm just using it roughly. And Lakṣmaṇa, that is Rama's brother Lakṣmaṇa, has some dukkha or some, he has some lack of complete bliss. What is that? Even though he is known as Shesha Avatara. Shesha Avatara is the Shesha means that Ananta, or the divine snake on which Lord Narayana sleeps. But he still has not attained moksha. Why is it? Means there is something less. That is why he expresses some dukkha in Ramayana somewhere, I think. He is close, that is, he is in Samipya, that means he is very close. They are not actually muktas. After total destruction of prarabdha or the karmas, they will go to moksha. That is what, why is it said here? Is there cannot be any dukkha or sorrow in the highest place called moksha. So if there is sorrow expressed by Lakṣmaṇa in the Ramayana, he has to be slightly lower than moksha. This is interesting, because Rāmānuja followers do not believe. They believe that Shesha or Ananta is a Nitya Mukta. They are eternally released.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
See, I think this actually a comment. Dukkha Shesha Avatara means some residual Avatara due to some residual dukkha, rather than,
No. The Dukkha Shesha Avatara is not a complete word. See, I'm mentioning he has some dukkha. There should be a full stop here. He is the Shesha Avatara.
Okay.
Okay. So in Madhvācārya, they probably in the next thing it is Visheshvajanacha Śaṅkarācārya sarve swadhikārantaram pravishanti param vasudevam nastyatra samshayah vyasa yoge. See, for some reason Śaṅkarācārya is mentioned as Shesha here, and he is Lakṣmaṇa according to Madhvācārya. If you look at this, yeah, that's true actually, because that's where he mentioned about Lakṣmaṇa. He doesn't say where exactly Lakṣmaṇa expresses dukkha or something like that. Here, see, you have to say Lakṣmaṇa has some dukkha, full stop. He is the Shesha Avatara. And
I have one doubt, Krishna.
Yeah,
I have a doubt. See, Ramayana, while Lakṣmaṇa expresses his doubt, that means they were living. They have not gone to Paramapada. No. While living Ramayana, he expresses his dukkha. That means in his living state, no. Is it so after his Paramapadi, after he is gone?
See, this is something a little bit open, and I'm not sure exactly. Let me be honest with you. See, in Ramayana, they're all living. There is no doubt about that. Okay, and Ramayana, you got to understand, in any of the Avatāras, for example, in Mahabharata, people were living, right? Krishna is living, but Krishna is not. Not understood as somebody who has not gone to moksha. Do you agree? See, even though Krishna was living during Mahabharata, do we say that Krishna was bound by karma?
No.
No. So the thing is,
but he has descended, he has come, no, just to release Paritranaya sadhunam Vinashaya cha dushkrita.
Yeah, from the perfect state, he has descended to this universe to do exactly what you said, to protect the saintly people, and to destroy the wicked ones, something like that, right? Do you agree?
Yes.
So now the question is, who among the people who did Lakṣmaṇa descend? See, if you look at Ramayana, Vishnu became four different parts or something. Rama, Lakṣmaṇa, Bharata, Shatrughna. They are all Vishnu amshas.
Four amshas. They are amshas of Vishnu only.
Yeah, there are four amshas. When they came, the question here is, Lakṣmaṇa expresses some sorrow. Truly, there cannot be any sorrow at all. I see. This is where I don't know exactly where Madhvācārya is picking this up.
No, sorrow means in the mortal living. No.
No,
He
yes.
had also a body.
No, you're
and
right.
he accompanied Rama to forest.
Okay,
So he may be having dukkha, that state.
Okay, you're perfectly right, because even Rama himself says, Ha Sita, why did I do this mistake?
He searches for Sita.
Exactly.
He asks all the trees, have you seen Sita? Have you seen Sita?
You're right. You're right. So the thing is, even in Ramayana, Rama expresses sorrow. That doesn't mean that he is not perfect. Okay? Because Ramayana is an avatar. First of all, it is an avatar, and it is to teach people and give people the joy of understanding how a perfect person would behave in this imperfect world, right? But I don't know really, to be honest with you, I don't have a good answer to your question. Lakṣmaṇa has sorrow. How does Madhvācārya determine that? Or where does he determine that? Or maybe Madhvācārya is taking some other Padma Purana or some other Purana where Lakṣmaṇa, after everything, he did not reach, maybe they said something like that he did not reach Vaikuntha, but he went to Samīpya or something like that.
See, my question is, when he is living, he must be having some dukkha. But after he has gone like Rama to other world, after that means like us, when he gives away the mortal body, so even then he had dukkha. What that is what mentioned by Madhvācārya?
No.
Even
no. Madhvācārya says this is not about Ramayana. This is about after attaining that is the perfect place.
That's what my question.
Lakṣmaṇa did not get moksha yet. He will get.
How does Madhvācārya come to know that he did not have? He has dukkha.
Maybe some other Purana he did not mention in this particular bhashya. That is why I am not able to understand this.
I understood your point.
Okay, later Acharyas might have explained this somewhere else. I have to see.
I understood you.
I understood you. Okay, I have to see Jayatirtha's Madhvābhashya somewhere. I have not looked into Jayatirtha Acharya's commentary here. So when I look at it, I will let you know if I find out exactly what they meant.
Thank you.
Okay. So now going further, this is a slideshow from the current. Okay, I didn't even say this is a slideshow. Okay, yeah. Vishesha vachanabhavacha esham Tvishat drishyate tena thayujyam praptaha samipya devatesham atah prarabdha karma shesha bhavat tad bhuktva sayujyam gachanti. Whoever has a little bit of dukkha or sorrow, they are not in sayujya. Obviously, this does not talk about Rama Avatara or Avatara at all. Actually, when they go to the highest spiritual state, there if they have any dukkha or something, they are not in the Sayujya Moksha. Sayujya is one aspect of Moksha. Like, there are four types. Samipya, Sayujya, Salokya, Sarshtita. They talk about four levels of Moksha. So the thing is, they are not in Sayujya Moksha if they have any kind of sorrow. Because Sayujya Moksha, in that there cannot be any sorrow at all. They will experience. So if they have sorrow, that means they have to experience the remaining prarabdha karma. What has caused that dukkha, then they will go to Sayujya. That's the point Madhvācārya is making. Tatcha uktam sankarshanadeyaha sarve swadhikara anantaram pravishanti param devam vishnum nastyatra samshayaha. See here, tatcha iti Vyasa Yoge. So obviously this Vyasa Yoga, please understand that Madhvācārya mentions number of texts or scriptures which are pretty much unknown to the other ācāryas. Okay.
Understood.
So don't know. Nobody knows where those texts are. I heard B.N.K. Sharma has mentioned in one of his books that even Madhvācārya's close students did not know about or did not mention about those scriptures Madhvācārya quotes from. So this is a big problem for even Madhvācārya followers at this point. I have to research it out. I don't know how to answer this question perfectly. I have to talk to somebody. And in fact, I have good Madhvācārya, Madhvamata experts, Dvaita experts. So it is no issue. I can call one of my friends who are experts, who are gurus, who also taught me in college, and they will explain to me the situation about the different scriptures unknown to several people.
One more point. Even in Samipya, the experience of dukkha is there. This is also new for us to understand.
That is also new, right? Because Vaikuntha, the Samipya is inside Vaikuntha. Is Vaikuntha divided into 4 parts, like Samipya, Sarupya, Salukya, Sarštita, Sayujya, right? So the problem is, the moment a person goes to Vaikuntha, the Sukshma Sharira should go away, and that person should be perfect, and there should be no dukkha or sorrow at all for the Sri Vaishnava, according to the Sri Vaishnava thought, right?
One more point: after one dies, and you cannot say there is experience of dukkha or sukha for the jiva. No. It's a complicated term to understand.
No. 1 second. From our perspective, we cannot understand.
Yes, from our perspective only. We were talking from our perspective
only.
This
is according to the Shastras. The scriptures say, after death, somebody goes to some particular final, abode. There could either reach Samipya, Sarukya, Sayujya, or Sarštita. That is, if they get Mokṣa. So that's what we are talking about, not from our perspective. This is according to Śāstra. And that is where Madhvācārya is quoting a work called Vyasa-yoga, which probably I don't know if other people know about this particular work. And I asked in the internet also, I asked a question in the Upaniṣads group, does anybody know, have a copy of Narayana Ashtakshara Kalpa quoted by Madhvācārya, a text quoted by Madhvācārya? And said nobody answered the question, and somebody told me that, oh, there are several dozen scriptures quoted in the Madhva Bhashya. Nobody knows about them. So that's how it is. Okay. Ato anishtasya sarvatmana viyogaha parabrahmatvam ichchami paramatman janardana. So the thing is, do you know Vaikuntha is being requested by even Brahma, the creator. So if he requests, does he request anything? Anything with dukkha or sorrow? No. So he is the perfect. He is the all-knowing among all the people born here, right? He is the firstborn. So obviously, Vaikuntha is, the state called Vaikuntha does not have any dukkha or sorrow. It's full of bliss only. Further, the Mokṣa.
One comment. Related to Brahma. Actually, in the Bhagavatam, in the 3rd skanda, Brahma is actually, he'll get a vision of Vaikuntha after the creation happens, because he will be in confusion as to what's happening. And then he goes into tapas, and then he will be blessed with the vision of Vaikuntha. He will see Ananta over there, Adishesha. So Bhagavata itself tells about Ananta being in Vaikuntha. In the first vision itself, he will see Ananta, according to the Bhagavata.
Very nice quote. Thank you for that. That information. I have not.
Third skanda.
This is the Tritiya skanda, right? Actually,
yes, skanda.
Yeah, actually, I read the entire Bhagavata and its translation once. Just a translation, not the commentaries. Obviously, the commentaries on Bhagavata is very huge for 18,000 verses. Imagine how big the commentary would be. I have not read it, but I did read the translation, but I missed it. I don't remember that portion at all. Okay. Rite Vaishnavamanandam Vangmano Gocharam Mahat. So Namoksha Sadrisham Kichid Adhikam Vasukam Kochit. Interesting point is brought in the Madhvācārya. There is nothing beyond moksha one can ever ask or one can ever experience. Even Brahma, Chaturmukha Brahma, the creator is asking for moksha. So it is higher than Brahma also. That is, it is higher than his position also. Rite Vaishnavamanandam. What is greater than moksha? Is only one thing. That is the bliss of Vishnu. Vishnu has his own bliss or Ananda. That bliss is higher than Vaikuntha, the state of Vaikuntha. Ityadescha Brahmadi padadapyadhik adhikatamam sukam cha moksha iti siddham ato yogaya yudhyasva. So the state of moksha is beyond the padavi or the position of Chaturmukha Brahma, the creator. Hence, this is the right goal for you, O Arjuna. Krishna is telling Arjuna. So Madhvācārya is basically explaining Krishna's words to Arjuna. Ato yogaya yujyasva. O Arjuna, you work for yoga because this yoga is going to give you moksha. Jnanopayaya iti nishkama bhagavad aradhana. So the Jnanopayaya means, what does karma give you? Yoga means karma yoga. Karma yoga will prepare you and get you jnana. Tadhi karma kaushalam. That is the beauty about efficacy of karma. So doing nishkama karma, that means without any desires, doing karma as a worship of the Lord will eventually get you moksha. So this is 2.50 shloka. Yatha Vishnum Jnatva Tadarthatvena Karma Karanam Ityetat Karma Kaushalameva Yogaha Bhagavad Jnanameva Buddhihi. So in 2.50 and 2.51, he summarizes the idea here. Look, what is Jnanam? Is knowing Vishnu as it is, as the highest independent person. Moksha is the next best. And anyone else can only achieve moksha. He can't be equal to Vishnu at all. So even the creator Brahma asks for moksha, which is beyond his Brahma padavi or the position. So what is the Buddhi? Buddhi is nishkama bhagavad aradhana. I'm sorry, karma yoga is nishkama bhagavad aradhana. Karma yoga is without desire, doing worship of the Lord. All activities as a dedication to the Lord. Buddhi means, that is intelligence. Yathavat Vishnu jnana. So the thing is, knowing Vishnu truly is the Buddhi. So Madhvācārya takes a different perception, understanding of Bhagavad Gītā. If you ask me, or if you ask anybody, the Buddhi word, the Buddhi given in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gītā, when it is the beginning, right? In the second chapter, just then Krishna starts his sermon to Arjuna. In that first 70, 71, 72 shlokas, so many shlokas you have in the Bhagavad Gītā in the second chapter. The Buddhi, you cannot find, oh, Buddhi means Vishnu Jnana only. How can you find that? Because those kind of explanations are not there in the second chapter. Buddhi there, Buddhi karmasa kaushalam. I'm sorry, I'm telling you that it's not Buddhi karma kaushalam. Yoga karma kaushalam, I think that's what the original verse is. Again, the summary is very clear.
Karmasu kaushalam.
What is this?
Yoga karmasu kaushalam.
Correct. Yoga karmasu kaushalam is what is said there in the Bhagavad Gītā. The point is very clear though. what is the buddhi? Buddhi means yathavat Vishnu jnata, knowing Vishnu as exactly. Is this ever written in the second chapter? It is not. But still, Madhvācārya defines buddhi as the right intelligence is knowing Vishnu properly. That is what he says in the second chapter. We will discuss this in even more depth as to how Madhvācārya's approach to Bhagavad Gītā is very different from other acharyas. But how come they have similar views? That is, Rāmānujācārya has similar views to Madhvācārya in many, many ways. Look at this. Vishnu is the highest, Mokṣa is the highest, and in Mokṣa, you will not become one with Vishnu. That is all common to Madhvācārya and Rāmānujācārya. But Rāmānujācārya does not explain buddhi word here, which in the second chapter, as knowing Vishnu properly. Why? Can anyone tell me why Madhvācārya does not state, Rāmānujācārya does not state that buddhi means knowing Vishnu properly? Why does Rāmānujācārya not state it? But Madhvācārya states it, but both have similar views on Vishnu. Can anybody say? Can anyone answer this? Try to answer.
Oh, I think...
Is it only based on the context that Rāmanuja is telling? Finally, he comes at the same point, of course.
Yes, that is true. It is the context. Madhvācārya takes the whole information he gathers from all the Shrutis, and he summarizes within the second chapter. So second chapter for Madhvācārya is the summary of the entire 18 chapters. And if you take Gita as the essence of all the Upanishads, that means Gita is the essence of all you need to know in Hinduism or in the Vedika thought. And second chapter summarizes the entire Gita for Madhvācārya. So the second chapter is not just the second chapter, but Rāmānujācārya does not take it that way. Why does Rāmānujācārya take a different stance? How can you support his stance that he does not take the second chapter as the summary of the Gita? Why? Can anyone think about it? This is where the approach of these acharyas seem very different. Anybody try? Anybody will try?
Oh, can you repeat the question one more time?
Oh, the question is, Madhvācārya takes the second chapter as a summary of the entire Bhagavad Gītā. Okay? And interestingly, Śaṅkarācārya also says the second chapter is the summary of the entire Gita. So these two acharyas agree on one thing, that the second chapter has the entire summary of the Bhagavad Gita. But Rāmānujācārya disagrees with it. And he does not say second chapter is the summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita. Why is this difference of approach between three acharyas, particularly where the Sanskrit is same, the same 700 shlokas, they're all common to all these three acharyas, but Rāmānujācārya takes a very different approach here, saying that that cannot be the summary of the entire Gita. Why?
I don't know the answer for sure, but I would propose it might have to do with the different yogas. So he hasn't really touched heavily on Bhakti-Yoga or introduced really the personality of God yet. That comes in later chapters in the Gita. It's just a guess.
Yes. Let's ask other people. Let's see. I don't want to comment much on your answer yet. Let's hear what other people are thinking. Okay. Anybody else?
Rāmānuja actually followed the framework set by Acharya Yāmunacārya actually, based on the Girtasa Sangraha. So
Okay.
There it is told clearly that the first 6 chapters are related to the Jīvātmā.
Okay. Why?
So going.
No, why is it so? Why is it so? See, there is a fundamental approach issue here I'm looking at. So what it is their understanding of the very Bhagavad Gītā, the whole ideology of Bhagavad Gītā differs. For Madhvācārya and Śaṅkarācārya is a different approach, and for Rāmānujācārya there's a different approach. Why is it? There is something very fundamental about Bhagavad Gītā which makes it like that.
One thing I can tell is in the Rāmānuja's approach, equal importance is given to even the Jīvātmā-Swarupa, this thing, Sakshatkara, because in that one will come to know that he is the Shesha of Bhagavan.
Fine, you are talking about the content of the information, philosophy. You're not talking about the philosophy. I am talking about the very style of Bhagavad Gītā. There is a fundamental issue about Bhagavad Gītā, the style. The style of Upaniṣads is different from the style of Bhagavad Gītā. Can anyone tell me what is the difference between the styles of Gītā and the other Shastras, which include all the Upanishads and particularly the Upanishads? Okay, suppose we take Upanishads as one, and even in Upanishad there may be small style differences, but really speaking, Gītā has from the very beginning, the style of Gītā is very different. And what is the difference in style of Gītā and style? We are not talking about content, because content-wise, the Upanishads have to have same content as Gītā finally, right? We are not talking about content. We're talking about the style of the Shastra.
There's a direct approach. There's a direct approach to Arjuna, inducing to do his work.
Okay,
in Gītā.
Okay, that's still not the style of Gītā. You need to mention something very different here. Anybody else?
It also speaks about
see, I'm looking at a particular thing, right? So let me see if other people have the answer. There's something else.
It's the organization of Gītā, like different yogas are organized in a kind of a sequence. I don't know.
See, your answer is sort of it's getting there, but still, one thing, Madhvācārya and Śaṅkarācārya would argue against you, saying that the entire organization of Gītā is compressed in the second chapter. That's what they would tell you. That means both Madhvācārya and Śaṅkarācārya would say the entire rest of the 18 chapters. That means 16 chapters, right? The first chapter is just an introduction. First chapter does not have much philosophical content. It's just only the context is the first chapter. So the second chapter would be the summary of the rest of the 16 chapters of Bhagavad Gītā according to Madhvācārya and Śaṅkarācārya. And they would argue against you, saying that, look, everything contained in the rest of the Gītā is contained in the second chapter. They would argue. But why does Rāmānujācārya, what justifies Rāmānujācārya in taking a different stance? That is not the summary of Bhagavad Gītā. He puts his foot down, and yes, maybe he follows his own ācārya, Yāmunācārya's Gītā Sangraha, right? The summary of Gītā was given by Yāmunācārya, his ācārya. So he is following his ācārya, that is no problem. But again, the question comes, why does Yāmunācārya differ from these ācāryas, right? The same question pops up one level high. What is the difference? Particularly the style of these Shastras are different. The style. Let me answer this to you. Gītā is a Saṃvāda Shastra. Saṃvāda means what?
Conversational.
Conversation. So Gītā is a conversation between Lord Krishna and Arjuna. So according to Rāmānujācārya, he says, I will not assume what was said in the future. When he's talking about the second chapter, he has not yet started the third chapter or the fourth chapter or fifth or sixth or 10th or whatever, right? He has not even, so it is just starting in the beginning. And I will only use the information given in the second chapter to understand second chapter, because the conversation develops as you go further and further and further. And I will not assume anything given in the rest of the Bhagavad Gītā. Rāmānujācārya says Bhagavad Gītā is the word of God, word of Krishna. Even according to Śaṅkarācārya and Madhvācārya, he is Narayana. Narayanaha Paravyaktah. That is what Śaṅkarācārya starts Gita as, right? So he is the Sakshat Atma for Śaṅkarācārya. He has not given any second place for Krishna, right? So it's a direct word of God. You don't assume what he is saying later. So this is clearly a conversation, and Rāmānujācārya does not assume that he said the whole thing as a summary in one shot. Even though the other two ācāryas oppose it powerfully, right? It's the battle of the really, really powerful people. But Rāmānujācārya takes it as a... So this is what I'm trying to say is there are different approaches to the same text. The approaches are possible. Vidusham kimashobhanam sarvam nyayam yuktimatvat vidusham kimashobhanam. Let me explain to you what I'm saying. This is the verse from the Bhagavatam, and one of the favorite verses of my teacher, Sri KSV. And he used to say, Sarvam Nyayam Yuktimatvat. Everything is logical, everything is rational, Yuktimatvat, because powerful logic has been given to support these ideas. Vidusham Kimashobhanam. What is not so beautiful about the greatness of knowledgeable people? Vidusha is experts, panditas, or spiritually advanced people. They have different views, but still they can converge in a way. That's the idea of Sri K.S.V. Swami, that these are not opposing views in a way. They are converging views. And you can have different approaches to some, particularly this kind of information, Vedāntic information. That was his view.
I have one point to express.
Tell me.
That is, now even Madhvācārya or Rāmānujācārya or Śaṅkarācārya, all these people studied Gita after it is over. It is told to Arjuna in the battlefield.
True.
But when the Gita was told to Arjuna, then he might say that next what Krishna is going to tell afterwards, he may not be knowing. But even Rāmānujācārya has studied Gita fully. And then Śaṅkarācārya also studied Gita fully after it happened. It has already happened. So what Madhvācārya and Śaṅkarācārya say, that is the second chapter is the gist of all the Bhagavad Gita. I agree to that point. Because after studying 18 chapters, if you once again reflect, brood over, and everything what to be told is already told in the second chapter. That's what Śaṅkarācārya and Madhvācārya feel. But that may not be felt by Rāmānujācārya. I don't know.
Yeah. See, the thing is what your points are good points, because all the rest of the ācāryas understood Bhagavad Gita completely because it was given to them as the whole text. Right? That's true. But still, why is second chapter the special? Why not third chapter or seventh chapter, the summary of Gita? Right? That question comes up. So obviously, these ācāryas...
Because even if the 18 chapters were not told to Arjuna, the second one itself is enough, quite enough to induce Arjuna to do his job, kartavya.
No,
I feel like that.
Okay. I think, here, good point you're bringing, good opposing points we are bringing. Look, I think someone mentioned earlier, the Bhakti-Yoga and Jnana-Yoga are not well developed in the second chapter. The only word about Bhakti in the entire second chapter, there is only one small indication of Bhakti. Do you know where it is? Can anybody say, where is Bhakti in the second chapter? He's only talking about body, soul, body, Jīvātmā, they are separate. Body is perishable, Jīvātmā is not perishable, and he talks about some Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga here and there. So he says Samadhi, and then he goes to Sthita Prajna. Sthita Prajna is about focus, steady focus of the mind, right? So that's what is there in the second chapter. Where is an indication of a little bit of bhakti in the second chapter? Can anybody say?
The very fact that Krishna induced Arjuna, do your duty, telling Sita Prajna Lakshanas, that itself shows that Arjuna having the steadfast devotion to Krishna, that itself is enough to say that there is Bhakti Yoga mentioned in the second chapter.
That is, it's too small, right? Because you can have this, suppose anybody is in trouble and anybody, oh, Krishna, help me, talk to me, teach me. Would you consider that as Bhakti Yoga? That's
No,
all.
no, no. The devotion that Arjuna had to Krishna, nobody will have that.
But the thing is, there is no mention of Bhakti Yoga in the Bhagavad Gītā, second chapter, except in one sentence. I'm looking for that particular sentence where Bhakti
All
Yoga,
the verses I don't know in memory. So I can't answer.
Just asking generally everybody, not just one person here. Is anybody in the class, do you remember what it is? That's what I'm saying.
There is one particular place where he is telling that to get over the Yama Niyama, Indriya Jaya, one has to concentrate on Bhagavan.
Right. What is that? What is the verse? It is Yukta Asita Matparaha.
Yukta Asita Matparaha, correct.
Yukta Asita Matparaha is only these three words are the indications of bhakti in the second chapter. See, bhakti, not about Arjuna having bhakti to Krishna. That's not what we're talking about. The whole story is about Krishna teaching information to Arjuna. Has Krishna taught Bhakti Yoga in the Bhagavad Gītā second chapter? Only in one sentence. Yukta Asita Matparaha. That's the only indication. That means keep me in your mind. That's all there. Matparaha means focus your... see, Matparaha again is complex to understand because the Sanskrit is a little difficult there. Have me in your mind is one aspect, but I am superior. Paraha means superior. So I am superior. Think that I am superior. Something like that can be even explained. Some ācāryas may explain slightly differently. So the idea there is, Bhakti Yoga did not develop very well in the, even it is not even mentioned properly in the second chapter. So Rāmānujācārya not only states that Gita is a Saṃvāda Śāstra or a conversational scripture, but he also says that bhakti is not explained in the second chapter. Yukta Asita Matparaha that is what is taken as bhakti by Madhvācārya, and for Śaṅkarācārya it really doesn't matter. Karma bhakti joins together, so not much of a difference. So really speaking, Madhvācārya takes that as a very powerful requirement, that is the essence of bhakti. So I'm not saying Madhvācārya is wrong or Śaṅkarācārya is wrong or Rāmānujācārya is wrong, who is right, who is wrong. It's not the point. The approaches are different, and Madhvācārya focuses on summary of the entire Śāstra is contained in the second chapter. Similarly, Śaṅkarācārya says, Madhvācārya and Śaṅkarācārya says similar, but we're just trying to argue against each other and trying to understand how the approaches can be different by these ācāryas, and that's what we understand from their explanations. That's all.
One more thing, it is very difficult also to tell that second chapter is the essence, because where is the question of that this thing, Vibhuti Yoga and Vishwarupa? How can one actually picture that to the second chapter only? It's very difficult.
It is not actually, yeah, it is not. And what these ācāryas say is, see, that is a school of thought, right? See, this also is about making bhakti see, Madhvācārya, what he argues is, in the second chapter, since we are doing Madhvācārya here, he argues, how can Jīvātmā be anything happy or blissful? And why does Krishna teach us about Jīvātmā-Yoga, Atma-Yoga or something, which is not necessary according to Madhvācārya? It says that there is no full happiness if you just focus on your own self. You have to focus on Hari or Krishna, and he is the only giver of happiness. So, so second chapter as Jīvātmā-Focused is not acceptable to Madhvācārya. On the other hand, what Rāmānujācārya argues is, first of all, you have to teach Arjuna, who is in a confused state, and he is mixed up with his emotion, anger, and all those things, or feeling bad that his own close relatives are going to get killed. So he is in a very state of turmoil. So how do you introduce the subject? So Rāmānujācārya argues, slowly they have to talk about something different from the body. Something different from the body is what? It is Atma. First thing you hear is not Krishna, but Atma only, yourself. Even an atheist will think, are you different from my body? Oh yeah, of course, my body is different. I am me, and this body is different. Even an atheist can say that he is somewhat different from the body. Oh, my mind screwed up here. My mind didn't work properly here, he says. So an atheist also talks about his own body, mind, and intellect as being sort of distinctly separate, right? So first you have to address, according to Rāmānujācārya, it is step by step. First you talk about body and what is perishable. Then you talk about something which is constant, which is Jīvātmā. Then eventually, how do you focus properly? You yourself cannot learn how to focus properly because your mind is very powerful. And secretly, he introduces the concept that to win over the mind, you just need to trust me and keep me in mind. So that is the little bit of bhakti indicated. So without bhakti, obviously, if you can look at Arjuna's previous janma, Arjuna is an avatar of Nara Rishi, and he's also a Rishi. He's a great knowledgeable person. He's an advanced person. That's all true. But it's just the approach which is different. That's all. Hope these kind of arguments are helping you rather than shaking your trust or faith or something like that. That's not the purpose here. I hope I'm not doing a disservice to all of you.
No, not at all.
Others, what do you feel? Is this approach useful or really horrible? I hear silence.
No answer.
Okay, let's continue. All right. Karmajam buddhiyukta hi palam tyaktva manishanaha janmabandha vinirmuktaha padam gacchanti anamayam. So this is an interesting, next three shlokas are pretty interesting. Karmajam buddhiyukta hi palam tyaktva manishanaha janmabandha vinirmuktaha padam gacchanti anamayam. Karmajam buddhiyukta means with the proper buddhi and with the proper actions, giving up the desires for the fruits of actions. Manishinaha means the intelligent people who are realized people. Janma bandha vinirmuktaha, they will be freed from the cycle of births and deaths. Padam gacchanti anamayam, they will attain the highest abode. This is the essence of this verse 2.51. I hope I am not trying, I just want to make sure you people understand that I'm not trying to put down one ācārya against the other ācārya. It's just that we are saying they have written what their explanations are and their approaches seem to be different. Do you get that point? We are not trying to put down anyone here.
One more thing I would like to mention here. Śaṅkarācārya in the 15th chapter, Bhashya, in the introduction, he also says that the Purushottama Vidya is also the essence of the Gita and Vedas.
Yes, yes, he says. So all acharyas mention that 15th chapter is a very core verse, core chapter, and that sorts of it has the essence of the entire Bhagavad Gita also. Many people mention that. Yes. So here, aparoksha, Madhvācārya mentions the term aparoksha jnana, which is direct vision of the Lord. Tadupayam aha karmajamiti. So tadupayam means, what is that upaya? That is to get jnana. To get jnana, what is the upaya? The final jnana, this is the upaya. What is the upaya? Upaya nishkama ishwararpana. That means karmajam phalam tyaktva, giving up all the desires of the actions, akamana ishwaraya samarpya, that is offering everything to the Lord, buddhi-yuktaha, with that kind of intelligence, samyak-jnanino bhutva. So buddhi-yuktaha means after becoming perfected jnani. Padam gacchanti, sayoga karma sadhanam, tan moksha sadhanam iti bhava. So padam gacchanti here is moksha. So this particular is the essence of Gita according to Madhvācārya, because this is the path. What is the path? Doing karmas according to the scriptures without any desire for the fruits and offering everything to the Lord. That is the path for perfection or moksha. And they go to moksha. That's all is said here in 2.51. The next one is 2.52. Yada te moha-kalilam buddhihi vyatitarishyati tada gantasi nirvedam shrotavyasya shrutasya cha. So when your intelligence loses impurity, here Madhvācārya comes up with a very distinctly different view from other acharyas. I want to mention here, you see how the approaches differ, right? So the thing is, I'll mention here the view of Śaṅkarācārya. Okay, I will stop here and show you the Śaṅkara Bhashya directly for this verse. Then we will come to the Madhvācārya view, because I don't want you to directly know what Madhvācārya's view at this point here. I'll just bring you the idea from Rāmānujācārya and Śaṅkarācārya just for this verse, for you to understand the background. Okay, I'll stop share here. And I will share a different thing for you. That is Śaṅkara Bhashya. Okay, Śaṅkara Bhashya is here. Oops. So can you see this? I took it from the advaitasharada.sringeri.net, which is actually Śaṅkara Bhashya on the Gita. Yeah. So here I will explain this all in Sanskrit. I will explain to you. Yadate mohakalidam buddhir vyatitarishyati tadagantasi nirvedam shrotavyasya shrutasya cha. So what Śaṅkarācārya says, moha is delusion. So the quagmire, kalila is quagmire. The quagmire of delusion, if you can get out of it, buddhihi vyatitarishyati, when you cross the quagmire of delusion, then atma viveka bodham kalushikritya visham pratyakta karna pravartate. So this delusion is actually making your mind dirty. Your antahkarna, our mind is dirty right now because of the delusion. Once you cross out, once you destroy that delusion, you will become pure. When your mind becomes pure, you get nirveda. The word nirveda is of very great importance here. The word nirveda is used here. What is nirveda? According to Śaṅkarācārya, it is vairagya, or giving up of attachments. giving up of attachment, losing attachments, losing desires. Shrotavyasya shrutasya cha, whatever you have heard before or whatever you're going to hear later. So everything you have heard till now, so far, and everything you will hear in the future, you will know that they're all nishpala. They have no essence in it. There is no value to the wonderful promises made in the Shrutis, like the heaven and all those things, or good things. There are so many karmas said in the Shastra. Or to get a good son, you do this yajna. To get rain or a lot of wealth, you do this yajna. To win over this kingdom, you do this yajna. There's so many things said in the Shrutis. All of them is useless. Once your delusion is destroyed, you get the purity of mind to understand that you are not going to get attracted by anything said so far or anything that would be said in the future. So that is the idea of nirveda, or which is vairagya, is being rid of all the attachments. Did you get the point of Shankara Bhashya here?
Yes.
Okay. Now we'll take Rāmānuja Bhashya just for quickly, just to understand how these ācāryas differ. Yada te, I'll stop sharing. I'll have to reshare. Stop share, and I will reshare. We will finish some portions of it before. I know I'm running out of time, but we'll finish some portions before we get to the next class. And another thing is, next weekend there won't be any classes. I am on travel, so the entire weekend is gone. So there will be no Gita class or the Upanishad class next weekend. Sorry for that. So here, yada te mohakalidam buddhibhyati tarashyati. Rāmānujācārya also follows almost similar. He has a very similar view to Śaṅkarācārya here. Right? Mohakalila is same as quagmire of delusion. And he mentions nirveda is he mentions a similar sentence from the Upanishads. Parikshalokan karmachitan brahmano nirvedamayat nastya krita kritena. This is the Mundaka Upanishad he quotes. And there, what he says that after knowing that all the scriptures which talk about karmas and sacrifices and yajnas and all, the effect of it, the result of it is nothing. There is nothing permanent about it. There is no, all the fruits of such activities are ephemeral, transient. They will go away someday. Even if I reach the heaven or swarga, the swarga will fall. I have to come back from swarga. Knowing all these things, nirveda mayat. Here the nirveda means, the person gets very dejected. Why am I focusing on these activities which will only give me impermanent fruits? Even if going to swarga, I may be in swarga for a long time compared to 100 years of human life. I may be there 15,000 years or something else, right? But that's not good. It's still impermanent. Having realized the dejection that all of these are going to give you only ephemeral results, then the intelligent one will turn to God and say, I want something permanent. So here nirveda means the dejection, or even similar to vairagya only. Similar to vairagya. They're like parallels. So moha kalilam is atyalpa phala sangha hetu bhutam moha rupam karusham vyatirishyati. All the effects of the karmas are very trivial. So asmatta haita purvam tyadyate ashrutasya paladehe itaha paschat shrotavyas. So all the good things promised in the Shrutis, do this yajna, do that yajna, get this phala, get this, they're all impermanent. And then he gets the nirveda, or feeling that he has done a big mistake. That's all. He or she has done a big mistake, focusing on only this karma and karma phala. So this is the idea of Rāmānujācārya here, right? Now let's stop share and go to Madhvācārya. Just a second. Okay. Here, Madhvācārya says, when you lose your delusion, you get nirveda, which is completion. It is not dejection or vairagya, or losing attachment. It says nirveda is achieving completeness. If you go to the next verse, or the explanation given by Madhvācārya, his nirvedam is nitaram labham. Nitaram means permanent benefit. So nirveda is permanent benefit. The same word nirveda is used in the Bhagavad Gītā in different ways according to Madhvācārya and other ācāryas. I have to tell you that Sanskrit is not easy. How would you say, who is saying the right thing? Madhvācārya or Rāmānujācārya or Śaṅkarācārya? They are all great people. Vidusham kimashobanam. What is wrong in intelligent one's views? They're all right. But the approaches are different, that's all. Tasmat brahmanasya pandityam. So what, he takes the whole verse as different. I'll give you a summary of this verse according to Madhvācārya, and then we'll stop here and we'll go into details in the next class. So till what time does a jnani keep on working? He says he will get permanent completion or eternal completion when he loses all the quagmire of delusions. So what is Moha Kalila? It is Veda Viruddha Pravritti. That is, whatever is against the Vedas, if your mind keeps on going towards against the Vedas, then you still have delusions in your mind, impurities in your mind. You have to lose all the impurities. Naturally get aligned to the views of the Vedas. Then if you continue to do the Nishkama Karma or desireless actions and dedicate yourself and offer everything to Ishvara, you will get Samadhi Avastha. Samadhi Avastha here it is highest realization in a way. Let's see how he takes it. So he justifies that Nirveda, other people are taking it as Vairagya. That is not right according to Madhvācārya. Tasmat Brahmanaha Pandityam Nirvidya Ityadi. There is another verse in the Upanishads called Tasmat Brahmanaha Pandityam Nirvidya is there. In there, it is other people are taking it as Vairagya. He says that would be a wrong usage. It should be Pandityat Nirvidya according to. I will not go to the Sanskrit at this point. Let's get to the summary. So Nirveda is not by here Shrotavyasya Shrutasya is taken, that is these words. Shrotavyasya Shrutasya, the other ācāryas are taking it as a negative sense. Good, that is everybody, all the scriptures are promising you heaven, Indraloka, good son, good wealth and all those things. Those are the benefits kept in mind in these words of what you have heard or what you're going to hear. For Madhvācārya, it is positive in the sense that whatever great stuff you have heard so far about Bhagavan and what you will hear later about the Bhagavan. And he even quotes. So think about it. Even when somebody becomes Atma Rama is fully realized, self-realized. So the self-realized people, Munis, they are also sages. Nirgrantha or Nirgrahya Apyarukrame. This word is a little bit complex. Each one, there's a difference in the word here. They have no bondages. or then they have no requirements because they're already self-realized, they're happy, they're away from this material connects. There's no bondage for them. So they don't have to get anything from Urukrama, from Hari. Urukrama is Vikrama, which is Vamana, Hari. So they don't need anything from Vishnu or Hari. But when they are pure, when their ignorance goes away, when their delusions go away, they run after Hari. Kurvanti ahaitukim bhaktim. Without any reason, they become totally engrossed in Hari. Ittam bhuta guno Harihi. Hari is that great. Without any reason, people come after him. People fall at his feet. People get absorbed in that Hari. That is the beauty of Hari. That is Lord. The Lord is all attractive. He is Krishna. Krishna means attractive. So even Muni, even the sages who are completely self-realized, who require nothing else in this world, nothing else, they like nothing. They need nothing. They're already happy. They're in bliss. But still, they run after this great Hari. And that is the greatness of Hari. This is the first few verses in the Bhagavata, which talks about the bhakti. And that is the, Bhagavata, of course, is a wonderful, wonderful work. And this is the introduction. Madhvācārya says that these sages are not, they don't have virakti, or they don't give up their desires to hear about the Lord. So the verse is taken positive and negative, right? Madhvācārya takes a positive sense. The other acharyas take the negative sense, saying that, oh, they'll have to go, they'll have to go. I hope we'll not fall at this point because my other battery is very low. Hopefully, this will work. Just give me a second. I'm just going to connect this to connect my computer here. 1 second. Give me a second. I don't want any accidental loss of information here. That's why I just want to connect. So actually speaking, there is no difference of opinion at all. Only thing is how they understand the same verse differently. That is the beauty about Sanskrit and all. So I don't think there's a difference of opinion here. That's all. Anushtānacha Shukādīnām. Look at Shuka Maharshi. Can anyone in this world be like a Shuka Maharshi? You know what happened to Shuka Maharshi? In the very beginning of the Bhagavata, it says, Shuka Maharshi is greater than Vyasa. Actually, Shuka Maharshi is son of Vyasa, but Shuka Maharshi is greater than Vyasa. I guess you remember this, right? Because it seems that some women were bathing in a river, and they saw Vyasa coming close. They went to grab their clothes to clothe themselves because Vyasa was passing by. But the same women, when they saw Shuka Maharshi come nearby, did not even care about their clothing. They were happily, enjoying in the rivers without their clothes, playing around. What does it tell you? It says that Shuka Maharshi did not even have the feeling of who is male or female. He didn't recognize. For him, everything was Vasudeva. Everything was Atman. Everything was Paramatman. And he didn't even hear when Vyasa was shouting, oh, Shuka, 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 he was shouting, but he didn't hear because everything was only Vasudeva for Shuka Maharshi. He was beyond physical needs. So that is the greatness of Shuka Maharshi. Such a great Shuka Maharshi, you know what he did? He could be happily experiencing Atman only. He did not. He was enchanted by the Bhagavata, the greatness or the Leelas of Krishna. Leela means his divine play. And he wanted to know about it and teach that to Parikshit Maharaja. And so Madhvācārya says, look, even Shuka Maharshi was not upset or he didn't run away from hearing about the Lord. He heard about the Lord and he wants to talk more and more and he learned more and more about the Lord. What is the value? One might ask, he's already self-realized. Does he require anything? He does not require anything. So why is he still interested in learning more about the Lord, hearing about the Lord, and continuing his bhakti or devotion to the Lord once he's already self-realized? So here, Madhvācārya is attacking in a different way. Self-realization is not sufficient. He's sort of trying to say is, maybe other ācāryas may be mentioning self-realization is a complete, that is the goal. That's not the goal. You go beyond the self-realization to realize Hari. This is the central point even indicated by Rāmānujācārya. That will, we have already covered Rāmānujācārya's first 5 chapters, I think, I'm sure. So, this is where Madhvācārya is heading. And now he is heading that he will talk about in Mukti also there are different levels of Mukti. And why? Because Shuka might be, all of us have to continuously work and continuously increase our bhakti. There's pretty much no end to it. That's the idea he's trying to give, but we'll think about it later. Hope this class was okay. Any complaints against this class? Please let me know.
It was very useful. Just one point. It seems that Madhvācārya subtly brings back the astikta. Because wherever you go across the Bhagavad Gītā, wherever he says, he puts in a point very strongly about the belief in the faith. When you go with Rāmānujācārya, it is more about bhakti, and with Advaita it is more about jnana. But here again, everything else is there, but it seems that he brings back a lot of belief in all the.
True. Particularly the devotion to Hari is very centric, a central theme of Madhvācārya.
And the other thing which is, it seems that enjoyment and realization seem to be two different things over here. When we think about Mokṣa, the enjoyment and realization seem to be different things. If we see Advaita, over there, there is no question of enjoyment once a person is realized. While in this case, the enjoyment is central over here. Enjoyment is
because in Advaita there is no you. The you will not stand, you and I.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to mention.
Yeah, see, Advaitins may argue differently. That is a big discussion we cannot take here. Advaitins will argue that bhakti is also included. Bhakti is on the way to jnana. So they said karma is important, jnana is important, Jīvātmā-Focused is important. See, they agree with everything the other people say. They're saying that all the bhakti and karma and everything is in a relative state. The absolute state is different. So that's what they will say. So it's a hard thing to understand. But what you're saying is right. This is full of bhakti. And also Madhvācārya tries to remind you, who are you? Where are you? Have you won over your desires? Have you won over this? Do you really realize who you are? Or are you subjected to changes? Today you may be suddenly knowledgeable. Tomorrow you wake up and you're in a stupor. You don't understand. You make mistakes. So realize who you are. Don't just think that everything is done. And he questions you that are you self-realized, are you Atma-realized or something like that? He basically pushes you down to reality. That's it.
It is also love, not only bhakti, it's also love.
Correct. It's
love associated with bhakti.
Bhakti, yes, true.
Thing is,
look
Yes,
at
Bhagavan.
one point. Look at how he brings in Shuka Maharshi here. Shuka Maharshi is supposed to be a ultimate jnani, and all of us cannot even compare. I won't talk about you people. At least I cannot come
No
to
comparison
a
to
fraction of his bhakti. I can't even imagine in my dreams what kind of bhakti and what kind of jnana Shuka Maharshi has. So how Madhvācārya brings such great characters to remind us that look at the mirror and see who you are seeing. Who are you? Understand where you are, understand your mistakes, understand your problems, and then figure out where you are in this journey in spiritual path. That's all. We'll continue
Thank you.
next. It's already 15 minutes past an hour. Past this hour, okay? Asmadgurubhyo namaha, Atmaparamagurubhyo namaha, Atmaparvagurubhyo namaha, Shri Krishna Parabrahmane namaha, Shri Lakshmi Parabrahmane namaha, Shri Lakshmi Hayavadana Parabrahmane namaha, Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.
Thank you. Namaskaram.
Namaskar.